Hi, everybody, and welcome to Red's Story. I'm a 29-year-old father of two, 9 and 8. My ex and I broke up 11 months ago after I found out she cheated on me multiple times in our 12-year relationship. She was pregnant at the time, and I knew there was a good chance that the baby wasn't mine, which a paternity test proved was true. At our first court appearance, I was ordered to pay child support. When we went back to court with the DNA results, she was ordered to pay child support for our children only, and I was given primary custody of my children. It has been several months, and ever since the paternity test established I was not her youngest child's father, she's been on my back, asking me to take a fatherly role in her child's life, begging me to take him some of the time so our shared kids can see me with their brother and help the bond while giving him a father figure. I said no repeatedly, and I've taken the relevant steps to get her to stop. Her brother is now involved and wants me to do it for the child. He and I were friends until I broke up with my ex. He took his sister's side and thought I should have stuck it out until I knew for sure. Now he feels like I'm being a jerk to a child who is innocent. But he's not my child, and I do not want to take responsibility in that way for another man's child. Am I the jerk? Edit. Child is 6 months old. Bio dad doesn't want him. Well, too bad for her. She should assign those daddy duties to the bio dad who got her pregnant, not me. She had fun creating this child with her affair partner, so she needs to bear the burden and the bills of raising him. Happy to hear that I didn't get screwed over by the court. Comments: it's not your baby. It's not your responsibility. I may have judged differently if you had a relationship with a child, but you never have. Lots of blended families navigate different parents, different bonds, etc. Your ex is being totally unreasonable. She cheated and became pregnant. It's not your new baby, and you have no relationship with this baby. You are in no way responsible for that child. You should, however, allow your two children to have a relationship with their brother. That in no way requires you to be a father figure to the new baby. If her brother wants the kid to have a paternal figure that badly, he can step up and do it, or she can have the baby's father step up and raise his kid. She broke your trust repeatedly. You owe her nothing. She should facilitate your kid's connection with their sibling, and as long as you're not bad-mouthing the mother or the child in front of your kids, you're definitely not in the wrong. Story 2. About 2 weeks ago, I started putting pieces together that made me sick to my stomach. Once I started unpacking what I learned and discovered all this, my life felt pointless and wasted. We got married young, 20 to be exact. Our daughter was the motivation to get married quickly, but we were friends of friends in high school and ended up at the same college a few towns over. We hung out exclusively freshman year, and then the next year she got pregnant. We got married, and life was pretty normal and consistent for us. My wife has a heart of gold and has worked in donor relations for a worldwide nonprofit for over 15 years, and I've been in tech sales and engineering for about the same time. Our daughter moved away last year to go to college in Europe and is very motivated, driven, and independent. My wife's parents live within an hour from her university, and that made us way more comfortable with the idea. We live in California, and it has been tough for both of us to cope with her being so far away. Around October 2019, my wife started working out of town a few nights here and there, supposedly traveling to San Francisco, Sacramento, and Las Vegas for work events and donor engagement meetings. It was twice a month like clockwork, second and fourth Tuesday, and come back Sundays. Fast forward to this Friday when I see some strange stuff. We've been cleaning here and there with some of the downtime due to stay at home. I'd open a box and find credit card statements in her office area to discover a card/slash account. Since we've been married, we were a combined account and shared banks and the like. I looked through the receipts and noticed they were all hotels in our local areas during the time she was supposed to be out of town. I didn't believe what I was seeing at first and tried rationalizing the charges, but they were detailed enough to show X hotel, X city. My wife turned white as a ghost and immediately panicked and acted more bizarre than I have ever seen her act. Always sure of herself and well-spoken, she was muttering, stuttering, and making nonsensical remarks. Then I get told I'm violating her office and had no right to go through her things. But the day prior, she went through my office, and the boxes and crates of old computer parts and floppy disks are organized without me. She's never a screamer and not much of a crier, but she was doing both, and I left. I slept in my car in my brother's house in his driveway that night. I came home the next day, and she refused to talk to me or acknowledge me and locked herself in her office. I felt like the biggest loser in the world and was so angry, but also so confused because she never admitted it. I was having doubts that she wasn't having an affair and made it all up. I thought maybe she was mad because I accused her of something she didn't do. I'm pretty sure I stared at the wall for 12 hours straight. My wife's following actions upset me. She emailed me the truth. I freaked out. I was crying, depressed, and felt like a failure in life. How did I not know? What did I do to make this happen? Was I that bad of a husband? Her sending me an email and not talking to me made me realize she was a different person that I couldn't be with and wanted nothing to do with anymore. Basically, a coworker came on to her and she kissed him at their office, and the next day they began sleeping together and having multiple day-long rendezvous. This was October through January. She broke it off with a guy because he wanted a threesome and wanted some other stuff with multiple people, and she didn't. The details were unimaginable and unimportant to me and made things worse. We had our first talk a couple of days ago, and she said she's already prepared for divorce and would expect me to file if I hadn't already. Quarantine aside, it's been the worst 2 weeks of my life, and having to talk with my daughter without crying or telling her has been tough. Should I move out? It is so gut-wrenching to be stuck here. Am I wrong to worry about my wife and how she will carry on after we separate? I hate what she has done, but still, in a way, love her. It's emotional feelings I've never imagined and so brain-racking. Edit. Talk to a couple of lawyers and stop because it was heart-wrenching. Of the 3 I talked to, one seemed more legit than the other 2. I'll call him back today. We said forever that if one of us cheated, it would be over. She knew her grandfather was a serial cheater, and her grandma was treated poorly. Anne never left him and just stayed quiet her whole life, and she hated that. Our house is pretty large, 3,800 square feet, so it's easy enough to stay apart for now. Thank you for the kind words. I have only told one other person other than my lawyers, my brother, who is a terrible listener but is single, and I don't think will spread the word around. The fog seems to clear a bit each day. Contacting my daughter in France is going to break my heart. Update. I told my daughter about an hour ago, and there was silence on the phone for a long time. I could hear her tearing up, and I nearly lost it. She asked why, and I told her she should speak to her mother about anything beyond what I'm telling her. I essentially told her that her mother made choices to do things that I can't accept for my life partner. I told her that although her mom is my soon-to-be ex, I will not abandon her or treat her poorly through all of this. I let my daughter know there's no other woman in my life and that I love her very much and hope if she needs anything to speak to me. My daughter figured out through her listening and my careful word choices that her mom cheated or is moving on to someone else. I also called my in-laws and my MIL hung up on me. My FIL is very level-headed and called me back after a few minutes. He apologized for his wife's reaction and said they would take care of my daughter if she needed to be with someone. My soon-to-be ex-MIL will call my wife if she hasn't already, and that is the first opportunity I have to see how all of this will play out. I have a therapy session tonight and feel so empowered by telling my daughter. My father passed already, and my mom is my next call later today. Having beers with my brother helped a lot. He's not the best listener and not touchy-feely, so that was actually a good thing. We talked about stuff other than all this drama. I know there is hard work ahead and some difficult decisions to be made, but so far the last 24 hours have been good. Official first meeting to deep dive with the lawyer is Monday at 9 a.m. Thank you all for being a sounding board. Comments? Do not show the email to your daughter. It'll absolutely break her. The priority here is you and your daughter. Don't do anything that'll likely jeopardize either of you mentally. Do not move out under any circumstance. Don't let her manipulate or take advantage of you. Good luck. Talk to a lawyer and follow their advice. Keep all documentation that you can, emails, screenshots, etc., and show them to your lawyer. Absolutely be ready to file. I feel her throwing that out there first is more a distraction than feeling you will really do it, Eka. Baiting and chiding you. Secondly, after hearing from the lawyer and what legal advice they try to give, ask them if moving out or her is akin to abandonment. What you want to do is not rock the boat or get in a position where what actions you do can have ramifications in the divorce. Here's the thing. You need to tell her to move out. Not only does it make for a better legal stance, but she's the one who committed the betrayal, not you. Sit her down, tell her she needs to leave. She's damaging your mental health by staying, and she needs to know that this marriage is over. She can stay with family, stay with her affair partner, or just book a hotel room on her secret credit card. It just can't matter to you except that she needs to leave the house today.